Okay, let's create a new Excel document. Title it whatever. Save it as Excel macro enabled workbook, or you can save your existing document as Excel macro enabled workbook, and now you're good to go. I'm just gonna grab already filled with Excel workbook. Okay, next you want to ensure that in options, file options, and where was customize ribbon, make sure that developer is checked. If it's not in this column, find it in here, developer, and then add it to your main tabs. Okay, and then that will give you a tab up here, developer, and this is the record macro button. So when you want to record a macro, all you do is click on that button and give it a name, say test description in this workbook, and then it's recording. So anything you do from now on, it will record. So if you want to select all of these columns, it will select them. So if I press this one, now it's recorded that click. Now if I press Control to select multiple, I've selected this one as well. And what else can we do? Let's just see what that did. Okay, so to access the Visual Basic, you click here or LT F11, and it will bring up this, and it will create a new module, or maybe not, but it will be in this modules folder. As you can see, I've already created a module before. Your one Peter test, you can start coding in here. So as you can see, we've selected the range B1 and L1, and the last click that was L1. So we can delete this module because we don't need it. To export it, no. Now let's get back to what I've done before. So when you click another sheet, it will come up with this text, and if you select L1, it will come up with this code. One thing that's different with Quandl I found on the internet, if you want to get the data, instead of pressing the button to download the data, you need to call this get data. But before that works, you need to go into Tools, References, and make sure Quandl is checked, and that way you can use from Quandl that function. So basically what this code does is from L1 all the way to AX1, it selects the queries, and then it will grab the data for that. For example, it will grab cells L1, cells AE1, and cell AX1, and then I also did something else, get data from cell C2. I'm just gonna modify this bit. So something that I programmed myself to give you example. Okay, so basically in my one I've given you two examples. So this will populate from queries located in sheet 1. So basically it says go to sheet 1 and then select L1 all the way to AX1. So it will select all the cells and basically give you data from those queries. And then in sheet 2 go from C2 and get data from C2 query, and I'll just show you what that means. So in sheet 2 I've got this query in C2, and instead of me having to go here pressing the download button, I've created a button here that will that is linked to that. So basically the way you link to that button, you just go assign macro and run Quandl. That's what I've named my subroutine, run Quandl, and basically that will call up that will call up this subroutine, which will populate your data whatever you've coded. So I've got have I got queries further up? Yep, there they are, AE1. So basically it will grab that one because I've called cell L1, AE1 and AX1. So AX1, there it is, AX1. So it will populate all those. So let's just give it a test. Just delete this from L1. So when I click that button, that subroutine will be called, and it will give you overwrite existing. Yes. So it's, as you can see, it's grabbed. That's on sheet 2. It's already did that on sheet 2, but on sheet 1 it's grabbed L1, A1. As you can see, it's placed it here, but my query was located in A1, and the next one was AX1, but it's put it here because that's the way Quandl puts the data. So perhaps you can put the query in AT1 so you know where it is. One issue is if you have this daily data and you did the same thing, you would get blank spaces because the dates are weekly and these are daily. So I recommend that you separate out the daily data in a separate spreadsheet, so that the weekly data is nice and with no gaps in between. Okay, so let's have a look. And to create this button, you pretty much just go to insert from developer button, and you draw it in and you give it a name. Okay, and then you just assign macro and you can give it that. So basically now you've got two buttons calling the same subroutine, which is this one here in module 1, run Quandl. Okay, so perhaps give it a go and see what you come up with, if it works for you. Otherwise we can hold a meeting and clarify other things. I think you can rename this button. Yep, just clicking on it and calling it whatever you want. Update Quandl, and that's it. So then once you click it, it will ask you to overwrite everything in each spreadsheet. So it starts with this one and then goes to this one as in the code, So goes to sheet 1 first and does whatever you've programmed it here, and then goes to sheet 2 and does whatever you put there. Okay, that's pretty much it from me. Let me know if